on record as the most devastating wildfire in Kern County.
The minute the call came in, everybody was moving.
Burned through a lot more communities.
And it's still burning.
Everybody is being asked to evacuate in those areas.
A fire just came in too fast.
We had firefighters pull people from their homes.
I'm leaving the house.
It was like a war zone.
Her truck is exploding across the street.
A firefight of epic proportions.
They are working safely and they're working diligently trying to get this fire out.
Good evening to you. Thanks for being with us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Jim Scott.
I'm Tammy Melchuk. We begin this hour here at 5 with breaking news of a brush fire in Lake Isabella. Here's a map of the area. Kern County Fire says the so-called Erskine fire broke out around 4 this afternoon near Erskine Creek Road and Apollo Way.
We are back now with a first look at the Erskine fire burning as we speak in Lake Isabella. This video courtesy of Jody Radis.
The whole gas station is filled with smoke. Firefighters just told us that they're going to evacuate us right now. I've spoken to at least 10 people whose homes have been burned down.
And we begin with breaking news as the Kern County Fire Department prepares to give an update on the Erskine fire that broke out yesterday afternoon in Lake Isabella, scorching an estimated 5,000 acres.
5 years of drought and 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts drove this fire over 11 miles in just 13 hours. Kern County Fire Department, KCSO, CHP, and multiple other agencies have been working together in tandem all overnight to contain this fire, which is still at 0% containment.
I thought for sure it was gone. We left there last night. The flames were in the backyard. I was like, there's no way.
Right now at 5, what residents woke up to in the Lake Isabella area was unbelievable, like a war zone, as dozens of homes had burned and were still burning.
Kind of hard, but I mean, just never seen anything like this.
And neither have we here in Kern County, as the Erskine fire destroys homes and disrupts lives as people are forced to pack up and get out.
My prayers are with everybody.
But we begin tonight with 17's Kristen Price, who's been assessing the damage as this wildfire continues to intensify. Kristen?
Jim, a Kern County Fire Battalion chief told me that there are multiple structures on fire right now that are burning off of Kelso Valley Road. And this all just started within the last few hours as the wildfire moved east. We drove up there shortly before the area was closed off this afternoon. We started seeing flames just after the fork where Kelso Valley and Kelso Creek roads meet. There are multiple homes in that area and flames were not too far from those structures. At times, the homes disappeared because there was such thick black smoke surrounding them. We stuck around and got this video, but around 2:30 this afternoon, fire crews said it was too dangerous.
I lost everything and I found the only person I had left and I asked her to marry me.
When the Erskine fire hit South Lake, Eric Kirby and Melanie Perea were separated.
And I couldn't find him.
The two were reunited this morning at the Kernville Elementary School Evacuation Center.
I'm so glad I found you.
It was a reunion like no other.
I don't ever want to be that again.
I love you. I love you.
Maddie, when you see the devastation here in South Lake, it's not hard to believe that some didn't make it out alive.
Kristen, cadaver dogs have joined the search, sniffing through the rubble like that you see behind me, trying to find anyone who may have not made it out of the fire. There are 2 confirmed fatalities and a possible 3rd at this time, and that toll expected to rise. Cadaver dogs searched the South Lake and Squirrel Valley areas today as a part of search and rescue efforts. Captain Tyler Townsend with the County Fire Department says it is very possible the destructive fire has claimed more lives.
A sign of life tonight among the rubble in Squirrel Valley. Kern County firefighter Miguel Martinez found this kitten while doing a heat scan. The kitten was tucked into a corner under a collapsed roof.
I was surprised because the fire had burned through almost 3 days ago. So it's been out here for, quite a few days by itself. So we'll try and get it to some help.
17's Kristen Price joins us now with a look at the hazards still surrounding those areas. Kristen.
Tammy, hundreds of people are anxious to return home, many still not knowing if their homes are standing. But county officials say they'll have to wait.
It's just very, very frustrating.
Greg Smith left his home in Squirrel Valley Thursday as fire ripped through the mountain community.
My neighbor called me. He said, your shed is burning, your truck just blew up, and then his phone line went dead.
Leaving him wondering if he even has a home to return to.
The unknown is killing me.
Over the weekend, people in Bakersfield, Tehachapi, and other Kern County communities donated clothing, toiletries, food, water, and other supplies. A lot of organizations delivered the donations to the Kern River Valley, but space there is limited.
I don't know what to think. You know, it's overwhelming.
Meeting emergency needs for food and shelter and emotional support, that's what we do, and that's what we're doing right now.
And we'll be talking to residents whose homes have been destroyed by the fires.
Decided to stay, and we kind of hold down some of those little fires here and there.
The insurance can cover the furniture, but it can't cover the letters you got from your kids. It's sickening. It just really is.
And good evening to you. Thanks for being with us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Jim Scott.
I'm Tammy Melchuk. We continue our coverage of the Erskine fire, now in its 6th day, burning in the Lake Isabella area. Here is the latest information tonight. More than 46,000 acres have now burned. The fire is 45% contained. Emergency officials say cadaver dogs have finished their search and they found no bodies.
17's Kurt Kelsey spoke with one South Lake resident who saw the devastation firsthand.
South Lake, one of the communities hardest hit by the Erskine fire, where some homes survived the flames and others did not. These pine needles forever charred in this position, a sign of how fierce this fire was. This family spent the evening picking up the pieces, finding little things that mean a lot. And then there is Kathy Berlin. Her home is now gone, like so many of her neighbors.
It's just so devastating to look and see that it's gone. You know, it's like you feel like you should just be able to come home. But I don't really know what to tell you. It's just, I was the only one out of the family that came, and the others didn't want to see it just yet.
A resident of South Lake for 14 years, left with nothing but the property she stands on and the rubble that she once called home.
It had 3 bedrooms, or 2 bedrooms and a den, so it was good for 3 people and 4 dogs and a cat and 2 birds that didn't make it and a fish or a turtle that didn't make it.
With no insurance, Berlin can only look toward the future, hoping one day she will have a home here again.
So now I rebuild. At 66, well, see how good I am.
And as the sun sets on South Lake, Berlin knows tomorrow is another day.
Alarm interagency.
County fire crews arrived within 8 minutes of the call out.
We have about 2 acres crossing the road from the archery range, multiple spots, and it's starting to run up the hill.
In less than 30 minutes from the initial call, the fire took off.
Probably 200 acres and running with the wind.
Crews reassessed its potential.
It's going to hit the top of Cook Peak, and depending on the wind, wrap around towards the Yankee Canyon side within the next couple hours, most likely.
By 4:30, the focus shifted.
Units going into Squirrel Valley. We do possibly have a structure already on fire with multiple threatened.
40 minutes in, the fire was already over the peak and threatening homes.
The fire could threaten about 400 to 500 structures.
Evacuation orders were sent out as the threat increased.
At this point, everybody's just in fire following mode. Just trying to protect as many structures as we can.
Less than an hour after the fire started, the number of threatened homes in the hundreds.
Okay, we're going to be 600 to 800 structures threatened. Fires moved out of my visual, but looks like a pretty rapid rate of spread.
And firefighters worked to save homes and lives.
Possible victim trapped in a burning house.
By 5:30, more than a dozen homes burned.
15 plus structures burning.
And the potential dangers increased.
At this point, we're going to have power lines going to start dropping.
Less than 2 hours in, the fire burned out of control.
Structure threats can be bumped up to 1,000.
17's Olivia LaVoice was there this morning as one resident returned to find her home in ashes.
I came from a poor family. You know, I didn't have much growing up. My whole life I had to work hard for everything that I had. So yeah, it's hard.
Christy and her husband say they worked hard so they could give their kids the things they didn't have when they were growing up. A playhouse, a trampoline, a blow-up pool, swing set, and lots of toys.
Yeah, we've had Thanksgivings and Christmases and birthdays, and it's a lot of memories, yeah. Heartbreaking, like losing a part of your family or something, you know. I tried to hold it together for these guys.
Although Christy says they lost precious family heirlooms and irreplaceable memories, they still have what matters most. They're focused on the future.
Gonna start over and rebuild and start anew.
The fierce battle against the Erskine fire is nearing 1 week old. In addition to monster flames, firefighters are dealing with triple-digit heat, an exhausting and dangerous combination. Just outside Kernville is the Erskine Fire Base Camp. It has everything firefighters need to do their job and recharge when needed. All this put together within the first 12 hours of the fire's ignition.
You think about taking an open piece of land and suddenly turning it into a small city for, going on a couple thousand people for quite a few days, working day and night. And so all the things you might need at home to carry out a business, fuel for the various vehicles, repair for the vehicles, all the clothing, food, supplies, sleeping areas, and so forth for the firefighters so they can be effective in the only job we really want them to focus on, which is fighting the fire safely and moving on to the next one after this one's contained.
All in a day's work for those making this camp run to maximize the firefighters' productivity in the field.
It's really interesting seeing how everything runs, the food, the camps, all the supplies that they give to us. It's phenomenal seeing all these group of people just come together for us, and it's truly amazing.
This is a really nice camp as far as I'm concerned. It's great catering and a beautiful spot, that's for sure. The mountains and everything. And we've been out for about 14 and a half hours today. So average day. But yep, we are definitely hungry when we get home.
One by one, they march to fuel up for another tough day ahead.
Jason, Maddie, although that containment date has been pushed back, fire officials tell us they have the upper hand on this fire. But even when the fire is out and firefighters go home, there are still hundreds of people in our community whose homes will look like this. They will be charred rubble. You can make out some things that used to stand in some of these homes. When you take a look at the damage, you can see people's cars, you can see washing machines, ovens, other appliances, but mostly it really is just ashes. Joining me now is Danielle Ambrose from Chivon-Kern to tell us how we can help give back to the people who have lost everything. Danielle, I know that you and everyone from Chivon-Kern has been doing so much to collect donations for these victims, but this is the first time you're actually seeing the damage for yourself. How does it make you feel being here?
It's really surreal, to be honest. There's not really another word for it.
Firefighters continue to gain ground on the Erskine fire in the Lake Isabella area, now listed at 80% containment. More than 47,000 acres have burned. Full containment is expected Tuesday. Fire officials now say 285 single-family residences were destroyed and 12 damaged. One commercial property, an AT&T microwave cell hub, was also destroyed. The cost of the fire is pegged at $19.3 million.
Now to the Erskine fire up in the Lake Isabella area, now in its 9th day. It is 80% contained and has burned more than 47,000 acres. Fire officials say 285 single-family residences were destroyed and 12 damaged.
Full containment of the Erskine fire is expected tomorrow.
Well, the Lake Isabella community received some closure over the weekend as the two people who lost their lives in the Erskine fire were remembered with a special church service. This was the scene yesterday morning at St. Peter's Church in Kernville, where parishioners remembered two of their own. Byron and Gladys McKeag were overcome by smoke and flames from the Erskine fire.
Find some closure today with the devastating Erskine fire expected to be fully contained. As of this morning, that fire is still listed at 95% containment. It has burned more than 48,000 acres since it started a week and a half ago.
And a reminder, you can find more information on the Erskine fire on our website. We have a special section dedicated to the fire. Just go to kerngoldenempire.com.
I've never seen anything this terrible.
It's a hard time, but we will recover on this. I know that for sure.
Everybody tries to help everybody out.
Heartbreaking to come back and see that it was gone.
This is a tight, close-knit community.